Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be looking at what meal you can skip when you're fasting. So you've watched all the different videos. This is the 12th one and you're keen to get started. So you're wondering what meal should I skip when I am fasting, especially so you can have more benefit for your weight loss. Okay, it's quite a common question. People want to fast, but they want to be sure that they are doing what will work best for them. Okay, so hopefully we'll look at all the different meal types, your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, and then you can decide which meal you will prefer to skip. This is all about equipping you. I just want you to take ownership of your health. Okay, I want you to decide. I want to put you back into the driver's seat. You will see from all the series that I've been giving information and equipped in such a way that you can feel confident about what you're doing. Okay, and do it safely too. So that's why we encourage you to watch all the videos so you know exactly what you are doing. So let's start with breakfast. Breakfast. Many of us are so used to breakfast, and we're not keen to skip it. It's the one meal being indoctrinated to believe that we mustn't ever miss breakfast. We're used to that popular saying that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. But is it really, or is that just a marketing strategy by the breakfast cereal makers or what? I mean, you listening to me, have you missed breakfast before? What happened when you did? Did the skies fall down? How did you feel? So, and I think it's important you ask yourself those questions rather than just believe, oh, I must have breakfast, because that's not the case. Remember, like we said in previous videos, that breakfast refers to the meal that breaks your fast. So it's expected that you would have been fasting. It doesn't mean that it's a meal that you take in the morning. It just means the meal you take when you're ready to break your fast. And that might be you're wanting to break it in the afternoon or evening and so on. Okay, so let's look at breakfast, and I'll give you some reasons that may help you decide if breakfast is the meal you want to skip. Okay, one thing we have found is that many people find it actually easy to miss breakfast. It's the one meal that you're rushing about to eat. You need to get out of the door, get to work. So you quickly often just pour yourself some cereal into a bowl, put some milk and sugar, and you're wolfing it down just as you leave the house. So for many, it's actually the one meal they can easily miss because already in the morning they are rushed, they're in a hurry to go. So that may make it easy for you to miss that meal. Missing your breakfast saves you time for some people, and may actually allow you to sleep a bit longer. If you're not having to wake up to make breakfast, then you might be able to sleep 30 minutes longer in bed, get more sleep, knowing that you're not having to prepare breakfast. Okay, so it can save you a bit of time for longer sleep. uh, Another reason is that breakfast is often the meal where we take added sugars. I've talked about added sugars in another clip, and this refers to meals where you actually have the ability to sweeten the meal, to add sugar. For example, if you're taking your porridge oats, you're able to add on more sugar to it. That's what we mean by added meals, that where you can add sugars. That's what we mean. So this is different from meals that already contain natural sugars. For example, your slice of mangoes. When you're taking your mango, you're not going to sprinkle more sugar on it, because it's already, you can't make, you're not going to make it sweeter. It's already sweet. Okay. So breakfast is often a meal with added sugars. So if you're able to miss your breakfast, that may actually accelerate your weight loss because you're then omitting that load of sugar. Another reason is that breakfast is often a meal you eat by yourself, unless maybe you have little children, you need to get them seated at the table and get everyone eating, that sort of thing. But for most adults, you don't really sit down with other people as such for breakfast. It's not an essential meal for socializing. In fact, I know sometimes I've been invited to maybe a breakfast meeting for women to give a talk. It's something that happens maybe once in a month. Breakfast meetings are not common as such. They're not really for socializing, So again, that may mean that breakfast is the easiest meal for you to miss. Another reason is that the body actually has a natural mechanism to prepare us for the day. This includes pumping out the hormone called cortisol. I've talked about this again in other clips. Cortisol floods the blood with blood sugar, and it's highest in the morning. So the body already makes energy available for you when you wake up. So actually, many people don't feel hungry in the morning, but we still go ahead to eat because eating breakfast has become a learned habit. It's something we are used to doing. So even though our bodies are full of sugar at that point, the body has natural mechanisms to make sure we have all the energy we need. A lot of us still go ahead and eat because that's what we have learned to do. Okay. So these clips are about re-educating us, helping us unlearn habits that may be leading to obesity. So let's talk about lunch now. Lunch is a social meal for a lot of people. Okay, it's that time when you go to sit in the staff room with your colleagues. So it can be a lonely one to miss. You might miss all the socializing that goes with it if you don't go and join them. Many people also have like business meetings, which you may struggle to miss. It will be difficult to find a reason not to attend these meetings. So lunch may be a difficult one to miss for these reasons. Okay. However, with the increasing use of online meetings, I know for myself at work, our meetings are mainly online now. So it might not be a problem because you're seated in your own office or room or wherever. You're not meeting up with people physically. So you might find that you're able to sit in your office during that lunchtime meeting, sipping your coffee or herbal tea or whatever you brought. Okay. So that may mean that it's okay for you to miss lunch because you're still socializing or being there with your team online, even though you're not physically with them. Okay. Being busy, if you're the type that is busy during lunchtime, that may make it easy for you to miss your lunch. Okay, so that could actually help. If you're busy at lunchtime, then maybe that's the meal you can easily miss off. Okay. Taking a walk during your lunchtime can fill that gap left by not eating. So instead of heading to the staff room, you might take a walk around the office during the lunchtime. You might schedule a call with a good friend during that lunchtime. So you're out and about taking a phone call, or you go for a meditation class, something else that you can do during the lunchtime hour, just so you're not having to default to eating. So finding creative ways to relax at lunchtime that doesn't include eating, that can make it an effective meal for you to miss. So lunch, it's often a takeaway meal for a lot of people, and unless you actually make your own meals and bring it into work, otherwise for most people it's a takeaway meal, and a lot of takeaway meals are laden with sugar and salt, and that means that your lunch is often the most unhealthy meal of the day. You may have noticed that you feel lethargic after lunch, you feel sleepy, you know. So it might be that missing out that lunch meal may help you lose weight more quickly because it's the one that is unhealthiest for you. For those who are active during lunchtime, it might be that eating lunch is okay because they have an opportunity to burn off those calories. I know some people who go for a lunchtime run, so they're actually quite active during lunch period. So having a meal then might be okay because then they can burn up what they've eaten, but you will have to decide what works best for you. So let's look at dinner. So dinner is the last meal of the day. And it's often a time when families come together to eat. Everybody, you've been out the whole day, so you're all back home. So it can be a difficult one to miss for many people. It can be difficult not to sit with your family at dinner since you've all been away the whole day. So dinner is your time to gather together, to connect, to find out how your day has been. So it can be a difficult one to miss. Okay. However, bear in mind that like lunch, dinner is often an unhealthy meal for a lot of people, unless you make an active effort to keep it healthy. So missing out the dinner calories can actually help your weight loss. Okay. Another thing is that after dinner, most people sit down and watch TV or do some other sedentary activity. So there's even less chance of burning off and the dinner calories, So with these few points in mind, you can decide, for yourself what meal you prefer to miss. But what I found is that, as a general rule of thumb, for a lot of people, breakfast is the easiest meal for them to miss. It seems to be the easiest. I mean, people listening to this podcast are getting back to me to say, "Oh, I've started missing out my breakfast," and I'm amazed how easy it is to do. You know, but it might be that missing out dinner is the most effective for you. So feel free to try one strategy. If that doesn't work, try another one. It's all about putting you in control. You choose, you see what works for you. Okay. So I hope this has been useful. Thank you once again for listening. Please subscribe, please share the video. We're just here to help. Okay. And as always, if you feel you need extra support, I'm hoping these videos are enough to equip you. But if you need extra support, we're here to support you. Send me an email at fabweightlossacademy, and we can get you registered for our weight loss academy. You'll get a certificate at the end of it. You will get e-copies of the lecture to remind you what was taught, and so on. So it can be an interesting experience for you listening to me out there. So get in touch if you feel you need that. Otherwise, take one or two things from the video and start working on it, okay? And I look forward to hearing how this has helped you. Please drop a message in the chat box. Let me know how it's going on with you. So thank you once again for sticking with me through this 12-part series, and I hope you found it useful. Share with